Guys, NaQuia Jones here. I just realized that I hadn't did a video blog in a while pertaining to the Love organization. Now, I know I share bits and pieces of my story with you all, and this actually crossed my mind the other day, just the story that I have, and so I just felt it on my heart to go ahead and tell it to you guys. Now, let me just start off by saying, being in a domestic violence relationship is not easy. However, we're so quick to judge people, and I don't want you guys to just think that you can look at somebody by how they look or how they act and know that they are in a domestic violence relationship, because it doesn't happen like that all the time. Sometimes, of course, we have red flags that present themselves, and we're able to kind of take note and get some hints. But sometimes it doesn't happen that way. Just because a person may act a certain way or look a certain way doesn't mean that they are in a domestic violence relationship, or they are not in a domestic violence relationship. Everyone isn't in a domestic violent relationship. Everyone hasn't even experienced that. However, it's so many people that have, and they never report it, and they never will. And that is the reason why we do what we do at Love, so that we can just bring awareness and spread awareness, because not only do you have to put up with it and take it and accept it, some abusers may not even know that they are abusing people. And that may sound a little weird, like, what? How you don't know, if you're abusing somebody? But abuse is not always physical. It could be making somebody feel like they're nothing, worthless, emotional abuse, just by your words. And some people may not even understand that they are doing those things. So of course, the person that's been abused not only needs help, but sometimes, all of the time, of course, the abuser needs help. And not in all cases, like I said, they even know that they are even being an abuser. Okay, so enough of the small talk. Let me just go ahead and tell you guys another part of my story. Okay, so this, I was actually working at a prison. I was a correctional officer at this time. So of course, when you think of a correctional officer, it's like, oh, okay, they're tough, they may be mean. And I was. Everybody, who knows me personally know that I have a very strong personality. I am a pretty tough cookie. So to even think that I was in a domestic violence relationship, even sometimes when I look back on it, it's like, really? I don't really see that. However, like I said, you never know. Okay, so I think out of all the times that I've had put up with emotional abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, all of that, this is a time where it actually touched me. This is a time where I actually said to myself, something isn't right. I knew it wasn't right the whole time. I'm not saying that. I got on this autopilot mode where I didn't even feel anything. I didn't hear anything. It was like I wasn't there. When I go back and I kind of recap some things, it just feels surreal, because I don't feel like I was mentally there. So anyway, this was a time where it actually seemed real, because it was a time where I actually had to go and I had to work, just to show that abuse was not happening to me. So the day before I had went to work, me and this person had gotten into obviously an argument. It turned physical, and I had a black eye. So I went to work, and I worked, like I said, I worked at a prison, and it was kind of like outdoors, so I could wear my sunglasses. So I had my sunglasses on pretty much like the whole day. Is that I had a mark on my face. So I'm lying and I'm making up excuses. The inmates are like, what is that? I know it's not a black eye. I know somebody didn't put their hands on you. Of course, because I handle myself well as a correctional officer, I don't take any mess. I didn't take any mess off of anybody there. So they're like, I know something isn't right. If Officer Lowry, I was Officer Lowry at the time, if Officer Lowry, has a black eye, what happened? So everybody's talking about it, and I'm like, oh my God, this is, it's embarrassing. You don't want anybody to know. You feel stupid. You feel embarrassed. It's just a whirlwind of emotions. So when I got off of work, I went to Kmart and got some makeup. Let me take a pause. Let me take a time out. I have never in my life wore makeup, and I mean foundation. I wore eyeshadow and some lipstick or some mascara. I've never put on the full works, not a day in my life, not even to this day. The only time I've ever put on makeup was to hide a mark on my face when somebody punched me in the face and bruised my eye. Okay, so I went to the store and I got this foundation, and I didn't even know nothing about makeup. So come to find out, I ended up getting it so much darker than my skin, and it just looked a hot mess. But I did it. I put it on there, and it was still obvious. You could still see it. And so that just it was just weird, because still to this day I have like this being where I have all of my like lip gloss and lipstick and my mascara and my eyeshadows, and that makeup thing is there. And when I seen it, I was like, I really bought makeup to cover up what somebody did to me. And that just leads me to tell you, like I said, how I felt at this moment. At this moment, that's when it was real to me. That's when I came off of autopilot and I came to real life. And I said, you know what? This is absolutely ridiculous. I'm covering up for someone else. I've been through so much with this person that obviously does not love me, just so I can have a family because I have a daughter. I was willing to sacrifice my happiness. I was willing to sacrifice everything just to give my daughter a good life, just to allow her to have two parents in her life. But I came to realization, and I came to realize that it was not worth it. Not at all. So let me just say this to you personally, whoever is listening to this. If you know somebody who's going through this, if it's you yourself, you don't have to sacrifice your happiness for anyone. I don't care if you have a child with them. I don't care what history you guys have. Abuse is not okay. And for the people who are quick to judge other people, stop doing that. Because I was one of the ones who always said, I would never let nobody hit me. I wouldn't never go through this situation. This is what I would do in this situation. That is what I do. You don't know anything until you've been there. You don't know what you would do in a situation unless you've actually encountered that situation. It's very easy to say how you would act and what you would do if you haven't been through it. But everybody's situation is different, and I'm not justifying staying in an abusive relationship. I'm not doing that. But I'm just saying everybody's motives are different. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect, guys, by saying this at all, but because I'm such a kind-hearted person and I actually care for people, I believed in my heart that this person could change. And not only that, it wasn't even in my story. It wasn't like, oh, I'm so in love. It wasn't even love. I was willing to sacrifice my happiness because I felt like my daughter deserved to have two parents in her life. I felt like I was scared to be a single parent. That was my biggest fear, being a single parent. So I felt like I wanted to have a family for my daughter because I was raised in a two-parent home, and then my dad and my mom got a divorce, and I didn't want her to experience that. I wanted a two-parent home for my child. I wanted to not be the typical black girl or black woman. You get pregnant, you drop out of school, now you're a single parent, you got to live on what. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to beat the odds. But guess what? I left and I'm still beating the odds. So I just want to tell you, don't judge somebody. Don't call them stupid because you don't know what they're going through. Encourage them. Get them help. Because at the end of the day, we've all been through situations in life that we're not too proud of. But if you are the person being abused, don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel like you're stupid. Get out. Realize, come off of autopilot. Stop accepting anything that people throw at you. And that's even if you have a man in your life that's calling you out of your name. If you have a man in your life that cannot call you by your name and he's calling you every name in the book, that's not okay either. So just take a look in the mirror. If you can look inside your own eyes and like what you see, then you're perfectly fine. But if you can't, then you need to change your situation. And that's if you are being abused or if you are the abuser. Being an abuser, you can change. Anybody can change. You can come out of any situation. You do not have to make people feel bad. You don't have to call people out of their names. You don't have to put your hands on people for them to understand. And that's not just for men being abused. That's for women as well. If you're arguing with your spouse, your partner, your mate, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, or whoever, you do not have to put your hands on them for them to understand. If you are a female, you're mad because your boyfriend did something, you found something in his phone, or you don't like that he messaged somebody on Facebook, don't get all up in his face, slapping him and doing this. Do not promote violence. I'm not saying that it's okay for him to put his hands on you after you've done that, but don't you do it either. Do not do, of course, to others what you don't want to be done to you. So I just want to say thank you guys for listening. It was a very short story. I know I talked to you guys forever, but I just wanted to share that with you and just let you know when it came to reality for me. And I know you guys see me smiling throughout the videos when I tell my story, and it's just because I'm just so blessed that I'm actually so happy because God delivered me from it. It doesn't make me sad anymore. I'm sorry, I can't give you like a sob story and say, this is what happened. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with the people who do cry about it, but God truly healed me from this, and He's blessed me with this organization, and He's he birthed the organization, and he's just working in me so much that I can actually tell you these horrible stories with a smile on my face, because I am so encouraged and so hopeful that you guys can overcome it as well, and you can smile behind the scenes and say, that didn't get me down. It may have knocked me down temporarily, but it didn't knock me down permanently. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I love you guys. Thank you for listening. And as always, if you guys want to ask me questions, feel free to ask me questions. I'll answer them. If you have specific topics that you guys want me to talk about when it comes to domestic violence or my personal story, I'll definitely get back to you guys as soon as possible. NaQuia Jones signing off. Bye.